does the backward flip that says, I'm in the game now. Upset. Huge upset here in Temecula as Tyrone Harris slams the door shut on Marvin Quintero. Wow, we talked about him having to get back in the fight. He did it in tremendously explosive style, and Quintero with a look of disbelief. Can I tell you something? I don't want to hear the excuse about the hand. Harris beat him.
Oh, yeah.
Flat.
If he had two good hands, the same thing Ramos was talking about, he wanted him to be a smarter fighter. He just let Harris have too many moments, and can't nobody take that many clean shots all night long.
Oh, what a thrilling moment for this guy. You know, after the fighter meetings, the way he looked, and we said, gosh, his body language, he looked like a loser's mentality there. And we're not rooting for the guy, but to see him turn it around like that, it's really exhilarating.
Well, it's a reborn career. And what's amazing is that Tyrone Harris's history was that when he'd lose it all at once. And he'd slow down, his punches would have nothing. It was exactly the opposite tonight. Quintero, every time he got hit, he really didn't handle it well. Back to the ropes, got hit some more, and the very end, he just had no answer, and basically just succumbed to Tyrone Harris's attack.
And Antonio, you said that Harris had to pick it up and start fighting with urgency. That's exactly what happened, guys.
Yes. You know what? Tyrone Harris' ability in the ring has never been questioned. It's always been, is he mentally prepared? Is his heart there? And has he turned into a journeyman? But the question was answered tonight. This guy has a future, and he looked really well tonight. Real good. I'm proud of Tyrone Harris.
You know, Quintero was having his moments there in that round, but, man, Harris just dropped it in. The power arrived. Let's watch the finish there, that left hand.
Yeah, it was a left hand followed by another left hand. Then again now, Quintero, he's not really holding. Gets hit with an uppercut, another big left hand. And when you're not holding, you're not punching back, and you're not moving away, well, you really don't give the referee much choice. Those punches are all very flush, and that's why Kais stopped the fight. Yeah, I think, you know, initially it happened right in front of me. I couldn't see Quintero, but watching the replay, I really don't have any problem with this stoppage. He was on his way out. There's no doubt about it.
Exactly. He didn't take any of the hard punches well tonight, and they affected him tremendously. I saw a sneaky little left hand and inside that caused all of this, that started the downfall for Quintero.
Man, what a big swing it was. I had Harris up by a razor-thin margin going in. Antonio, good stoppage?
Good stoppage, good stoppage. The guy was coming on, and you saw the anguish on Quintero's face. You saw the pain and the agony that he was in, whether it was the punches he was taking or his hand no longer could go.
Steve?
And on that third replay, for the first time I saw that when those last couple of punches landed, Quintero's eyes were not on his opponent. They were off to the side. He lacked focus. First thing a referee looks for is a fighter's eyes.
A good move, Raul Kais Jr. saving the 22-year-old to fight again, perhaps. But this was the night that belonged to Tyrone Harris as we go up to Mark Lichtenfeld.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Raul Kais Jr. stops this contest at 1 minute 5 seconds of round number 8. For your winner by technical knockout, Tyrone Fists of Fury Harris. And let's hear it for Marvin Quintero.
So in 8 rounds, Tyrone Harris resuscitates his career. That was, guys, a career saving. I mean, we talked about Harris having a journeyman's mentality, having stepped up and failed each time, twice on ShoBox. Some question, hey, this was a showcase. We even questioned the time perhaps going in for Marvin Quintero, that Harris was just a hopelessly mentally beaten fighter going in. And then when the guy doesn't make weight, you're saying, how is this going to last? It could be a short night. Well, it turned into an abbreviated main event, but it was Tyrone Harris who shocked, I think, everybody tonight.
Yeah, I think maybe he shocked himself a little bit too, Nick. He came into this fight after struggling mightily to make weight. You know, he wasn't always the busiest puncher in this fight, but boy, did he make his punches count. And Quintero is so open for counter punches all fight long. As the rounds mounted, Harris started to fall behind on my card. He didn't throw a lot of punches, but if he threw 15 around, he landed 10. And that's what you see here. Quintero not handling the pressure well, getting hit flush, not holding, not answering, and referee Kaiz having no choice there but to stop the fight. A pretty amazing result given both fighters' histories going into this fight.
And this is the way they had it. Everybody, well, it was split decision, at least through 7. A wide margin from Fritz Werner for Harris. Had him well ahead, and Lou Filippo had a comfortable margin for Harris, but Alejandro Joaquin had it the other way from Tijuana, Mexico. A paper-thin lead. It was all for naught, an academic moot point at this point, because Antonio Tarver, we talked about Tyrone Harris. I mean, at age 28, where does he go from here? Does he pick up big fights? You know, here's a guy who got knocked out very recently by a man who was a contender in Alberto Antion. Can you really revitalize your career in one night like he did?
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Sometimes when you take those fights on short notices, it's about bad management. It's how you move a fighter. He should have never took that fight with the up-and-coming contender on a 2-week notice. It was vital to his career. He got knocked out, but I'm glad that he was able to bounce back and show the world that he does have the goods if he stay focused.
Thank you, Antonio, for the insight all night. A lot of fun working with you. And Steve, question for you. When did you start to know? I mean, I was early saying Tyrone Harris looks like the man tonight, but can it last? When did you start saying this is his night?
Nick, I still don't believe it. The fight's over, and I still don't believe it. You know what? This is why they fight the fights. After the fighter meetings, the three of us and our producer and our director and everybody that spoke to these two fighters yesterday, no one in their right mind would have picked Tyrone Harris to win this fight. His body language was bad. His confidence wasn't there. He came out and he fought the way we've seen him fight in spurts on ShoBox in the past. But he's always caved in the past. Tonight, his opponent caved in, and as a result, Harris's career is reborn.
Young fighters match tough. Some move on, some move back, and that's what happened tonight. As we recap the evening, 2 stoppages here on ShoBox from Temecula. It started with Chris Avalos, an offensive burst of firepower, and a second round TKO over Andre Wilson.
It was a little bit of a move up for Chris Avalos, and boy, did he perform well. He's 19 years old, he's a bantamweight, and he's a puncher. Let's see him again.
And main event, Tyrone Harris in the upset, biggest win of his professional career, takes out Marvin Quintero.
Tyrone Harris struggled to make weight, didn't make weight, came on, was strong enough down the stretch to win a very close fight.
Tomorrow night's doubleheader on Showtime Championship Boxing, the next event on the sports calendar. Don't miss it, and tune in to sports.show.com for the complete list of events. And that'll do it for this edition of ShoBox, The New Generation. Executive producer of ShoBox, Gordon Hall. ShoBox produced by Richard Gaughan and directed by Rick Phillips. For Steve Farhood, Antonio Tarver, and our entire crew, this is Nick Charles saying so long, everybody, from Temecula, California.
Timothy Bradley, undefeated WBO champion and rising star, the junior welterweight division. Nate Campbell, the underdog who shocked the world with a stunning upset. Tomorrow, these two men collide for 140-pound supremacy.